Every butterfly story is the same. They each have the same 4 life stages, but different species of butterflies go through those stages very differently. There are thousands of species of butterflies on planet Earth. Scientists haven't been studying butterflies for all that long. We've got a lot to learn. All butterflies have the same story, but they have different details. All butterflies start out as an egg. Usually, mama butterfly lays her eggs on a special plant. Before she lays an egg, she actually tastes the plant with her feet. She has chemoreceptors in her feet that indicate to her whether or not she's on the proper plant. And if she is on the right plant, boop, an egg comes out. Most mama butterflies have hundreds of eggs to lay, so they're pretty busy. Different species of butterflies have slightly different behaviors. Some butterflies lay their eggs really quickly, and others land and take their time. Some lay them singly, and some lay them in clusters. Mama often puts her eggs on the new growth of plants because that's the most tender part. Caterpillars, who are eventually going to eat that plant, prefer tender leaves. Out of those teeny tiny eggs comes a teeny tiny caterpillar. But that caterpillar almost immediately starts eating those tender leaves that its mom laid its egg on. Pretty soon, it gets chubbier and chubbier and chubbier. And each time it grows, it molts its exoskeleton or sheds its skin in order to get a little bigger. Caterpillars are baby butterflies. When they first come out of the egg, they're really tiny. Since they're babies, they spend their time eating, pooping, growing, and eating again. As they eat, they're storing up nutrients, some that are keeping them alive now, and others that will be helpful for them when they one day grow up to be an adult butterfly. After the baby caterpillar is full and can't take another bite, it finds what it perceives as a quiet place, and it starts going into stage 3, which is called a chrysalis. It's really dangerous to be a chrysalis because they can't move in chrysalis form. Remember that bottom of the food chain thing? A bird would love to make a snack out of a chrysalis. A chrysalis can't crawl or fly away to protect itself. Instead, a lot of chrysalids blend in with their environment or camouflage to try not to get eaten. Butterfly scientists, called lepidopterists, know that each butterfly species makes their own unique chrysalis. Once you're a skilled butterfly gardener, you'll come to recognize the chrysalid. Let's get out of that bad habit of calling it a cocoon. Instead, we use the word chrysalis. There is a scientific difference between a cocoon and a chrysalis, and cocoons are generally something moths make. Butterflies make chrysalids. The final stage of their life cycle is everybody's favorite. They emerge as adults. And when they're adults, all butterflies have 4 wings. 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. As a butterfly, they drink nectar, and their most important job is to mate and continue the species. When they first emerge from their chrysalis, lots of people mistakenly call them babies. Because they're new, people will say, "Oh, look at the baby butterfly." When they have wings, they're adults. So they're adults the moment they come out of their chrysalis. At first, when they're young adults, they have to dry their wings and prepare for adulthood. Once their wings are dry and they've stored up enough nutrients to have energy to mate, they've got to find a mate. Most butterflies only live around 2 weeks. This adult butterfly has 2 weeks to find a mate. Each species has their own courtship rituals. They're generally all doing the same thing, which is attracting one another using pheromones. So male butterflies can detect pheromones, and they have pheromones that they use to try to attract females. And a lot of butterflies do what we call courtship dances. You've probably seen this in the wild. Butterflies will fly around one another. Some kinds of butterflies will spiral up towards the sky. Some, the female flies and the male loops her. Some of them, the female rests on a leaf and the male kind of sprays her with pheromones like this. Basically, anytime you see 2 butterflies really interacting with one another in some kind of what looks like choreographed dance, they're courting. Now, they're not mating yet, they're courting. He's hoping they'll mate, but she gets to decide if she really wants to have babies with him or not. These pictures illustrate different butterflies mating, but they all do it the same way. Basically, they lock their abdomens together facing opposite directions. And what's really going on is the male butterfly is transferring a sperm pack to the female. She has hundreds of eggs in her abdomen. When she goes to lay her eggs, they pass through that sperm pack and become fertilized. Butterfly parts are kind of like lock and key, and that's what keeps most of them from mating with the wrong kind of species. All butterflies start out as eggs. The science word for egg is ovum. A caterpillar or a larva, which is a juvenile butterfly, comes out of the egg. After eating its fill of leaves, that caterpillar becomes a chrysalis. Finally, in the grand finale, butterflies become adults with wings. Our goal is to get them to do this in your backyard. Take action. Can you name the 4 stages of the butterfly life cycle? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.